The stars stretched endlessly around Earth like silver threads on black silk. Humanity had been reaching out into space for decades, slowly carving a place among the stars. They had built colonies on distant planets, explored far reaches of the galaxy, and quietly prepared for a future that no one could yet imagine. But even with all this progress, the Galactic Council had not taken humans seriously. They saw Earth as young, inexperienced, and easily manipulated. In the heart of the Council's massive orbital chamber, representatives from countless civilizations gathered. Some were tall, with skin that shimmered like liquid crystal. Others had wings, claws, or features that seemed impossible to human eyes. Their voices carried across the hall in a chorus of languages, harmonizing strangely but beautifully. This human delegation will arrive in 2 cycles, the council president, a tall figure with golden eyes, announced. They will be compliant. They will follow our guidance. There is no reason to fear them. A representative from the Voran Empire, a race of insectoid diplomats, clicked his mandibles nervously. They are young, yes, but unpredictable. Do we truly know what their capabilities are? The president waved a hand dismissively. We have studied them. Their technology is primitive. Their fleets are tiny. They may have courage, but courage does not win wars, nor does it control trade. The humans will bend, as all young species do. Unknown to the Council, their analysis was wrong, very wrong. On Earth, preparations for the upcoming Council meeting were very different. Captain Celine Ward stood on the bridge of the USNS Horizon, the lead human diplomatic and exploration vessel. Her dark hair was tied back tightly, and her sharp blue eyes scanned the display before her. Around her, the crew moved efficiently, preparing for a journey that would take them farther than any human had gone before. Captain, Lieutenant Rami Patel said, approaching quickly, the Council's envoy has sent their preliminary protocols. They expect formal greetings, submission, and cooperation. Celine smiled faintly. Let them expect. They are going to get something very different. Humanity does not bow under threats. We do not negotiate under intimidation. They need to learn that now. Patel frowned. You are certain we are ready? I mean, the Council is huge. Their fleets alone, will not frighten us, Celine interrupted. We have prepared for every possibility. Our defenses are strong, our strategy is clear, and our people are united. That is more than any weapon. The crew exchanged glances. There was pride in their eyes, but also tension. None of them had faced the Galactic Council before. Every human on this mission carried the weight of the planet with them. Yet Celine's calm confidence was contagious. Days later, the Horizon slipped through the galaxy, moving faster than any Council scout could detect. Humans had learned to hide their true capabilities. Their ships were equipped with advanced stealth fields and long-range defensive systems. The Council expected to see a small, humble delegation. What they would see instead was a force that demanded respect. The Council chamber orbited a massive star. Its structure was vast and gleaming, a testament to the combined resources of countless civilizations. Humans had never seen such a place. Celine took a moment to study the chamber from her ship's viewports. She could see the Council members waiting, their strange forms and colors a living mosaic. She felt a thrill of anticipation. When the Horizon docked, the airlock opened smoothly. The humans stepped onto the Council platform and a hush fell over the chamber. Not fear exactly, curiosity, confusion. Humans moved with purpose, their posture confident, their expressions calm. The president rose from his seat, golden eyes gleaming. Ambassadors of Earth, he said in the universal translator, his voice echoing. We welcome you to the Galactic Council. You have been summoned for talks regarding your species' expansion and cooperation within the galaxy. Celine stepped forward. She spoke slowly, clearly, and with authority. We have received your invitation. We also understand your concerns, but we must be clear. Humanity will not negotiate under pressure, and we will not allow threats to influence our decisions." A murmur ran through the council chamber. Some members whispered to each other. One alien with long, silvery wings tilted its head in disbelief. The president's expression did not change. "Surely you understand that refusal to cooperate will carry consequences. Our fleets can—" "We are not here to provoke conflict," Celine interrupted politely. "But we are here to make one thing very clear. Humanity protects its own. We will engage with you, but only as equals. Any attempt to impose will be met with appropriate response." There was silence. The council members had never faced a species so young that refused to comply with authority. It was a new experience, and they did not like it. Later, Celine and her team were taken to private chambers to discuss the next steps. The council expected submission, yes, but humans had prepared for this meeting as if it were a battlefield. "We need to show them strength without violence," said Celine. "We cannot threaten, but we must impress. They must understand that we are not weak, that we will not bend, and that we are not naive." Lieutenant Patel nodded. "We've positioned the Horizon's fleet beyond their detection range. They won't know we have backup until they see it. Our sensors and long-range systems are ready to protect Earth and our people." Celine leaned forward. "Remember this. Courage is our first weapon. Strategy is our second. Unity is our shield. If we hold together, no council or fleet can intimidate humanity." The first formal meeting began the next day. Council members filed into a massive chamber, their eyes curious and sharp. Some leaned forward, trying to gauge the humans' intentions. Others simply watched silently, confident in their superiority. Celine spoke first. "We come in peace. We seek knowledge, cooperation, and friendship. But we are not naive. We have prepared for every eventuality. Humanity will not bend to threats, nor will we allow ourselves to be dismissed." The chamber was quiet. Many of the aliens had never heard such words. Most species would have bowed, apologized, and agreed to whatever the council demanded. Humans did neither. One of the council members, a tall, translucent being with glowing veins, spoke. "You speak boldly for a species so young. Surely you understand your position. Your fleets are small, your technology limited. Compliance is wiser than defiance." Celine met the alien's gaze evenly. "We understand our position, but we also understand ours is a position of dignity, strategy, and preparation. Strength is not always in size. Intelligence, unity, and courage are equally important. Humanity stands ready, not to fight, but to be respected." The alien paused. Something about the way Celine spoke was unsettling. The council had never met a species with such clarity of purpose and unshakable confidence. They were used to submission, not negotiation. Over the next few hours, the humans shared their plans for exploration, defense, and interstellar cooperation. They did not boast. They did not threaten. They simply displayed their achievements and capabilities calmly, logically, and clearly. The council was forced to listen. When the meeting ended, the president called for a recess. Council members whispered and argued amongst themselves. Some were angry. Others were impressed, but all were shaken. They had believed humanity would be easy to control. They had been wrong. Celine returned to her quarters, exhausted but satisfied. She knew this was only the first step. The council was still cautious, still testing, still planning. But she also knew humanity had already changed their expectations. The galaxy would have to see humans differently from now on. As she looked out into the vast blackness of space, stars twinkling in silent majesty, she thought, they expected fear. They expected submission. Instead, we showed them humanity. Somewhere in the council chamber, the president whispered to an aide, frustration evident in his tone. "They will bend. They must bend." But deep down, even he felt doubt. Humanity was not like any species the Council had encountered, and the galaxy was about to learn just how strong humans could be. The Council chamber was alive with whispers. The humans had arrived, and their words still echoed in every corner. Even the largest and most confident species were unsettled. They had expected fear, hesitation, maybe even groveling. Instead, they had been met with calm confidence. Captain Celine Ward moved among the humans as they prepared for the next round of formal discussions. Each crew member carried themselves with quiet purpose, their eyes alert, their minds sharp. The Horizons crew had trained for decades for moments like this. And now, in the heart of the Council's stronghold, that training was about to be tested. In a separate wing, the Council convened in private. The President's golden eyes were fixed on the screen showing the humans' docking and first words. "This is unacceptable," hissed the Voran delegate, its mandibles clacking nervously. "They have no fear. They do not respect authority. We cannot allow this. If we show hesitation, others will follow their example." The President shook his head slowly. "Patience. Observe. Humans are young, yes, but they are clever. Their confidence is part of their nature. We may be able to bend them with subtle threats." A silver-winged representative interjected. "Subtle threats? They do not even flinch at our displays of power. I have watched them. They are not like any species I have encountered. If they are ignored, they may disrupt the order we have maintained for centuries." The President's hand tapped the table. "Then we will test them further. Small demonstrations. Nothing too direct. Let them understand that we lead, and they follow." Back in the human chambers, Celine was already aware of the Council's plans. Earth had prepared carefully, not only in technology but in strategy and diplomacy. Celine's team had studied the Council's previous interactions with other species, predicting their tactics and calculating their responses. "We have to remain calm," Celine told her officers. "They will attempt to intimidate. That is their nature, but intimidation works only on those who fear it. We do not fear them." Lieutenant Rami Patel frowned. "What if they try something we can't predict? Their fleets, their weapons, they could destroy a colony before we even know it." Celine's gaze was steady. "Then we ensure it is impossible. We anticipate. We plan. We remain united. They do not know us as well as they think. They will be surprised." The first formal encounter was set in the Council's main forum. It was a massive, circular chamber floating in orbit above a vibrant star system. Council representatives filled seats that seemed to stretch endlessly, their attention fixed on the humans who now stood in the center. Celine stepped forward and began speaking. "We come not as subjects, but as equals. We seek understanding, friendship, and cooperation. But we will not be intimidated, and we will not yield to threats. Humanity will defend its people, its colonies, and its sovereignty. Let there be no misunderstanding." The Council murmured. One delegate, a crystalline being with glimmering facets, raised its voice. "You speak boldly, young humans. Do you not fear the might of the Council? We command fleets that could erase your colonies in moments." Celine nodded. "We know your capabilities. We respect them. But we have our own, and we have prepared for all possibilities. Strength is not only in size. Strategy, courage, and unity are equally strong. Humanity stands ready." Another delegate, a long-limbed creature with multiple eyes, whispered to its neighbor. "They are insane, or extraordinarily clever, perhaps both." The Council then attempted their first test. Without warning, holographic simulations appeared around the humans. Massive fleets, armed with powerful energy weapons, surrounded Earth colonies. The aliens expected fear, but the humans remained calm. Celine studied the simulations carefully. "This is what we anticipated," she said. "They want to see our reaction, Let's show them logic, not panic. Selene instructed her officers to analyze the simulations, identify weaknesses, and project counter-strategies. The human response was methodical, efficient, and precise. They did not threaten. They did not attack. They simply demonstrated control and readiness. As the holograms faded, the council members watched in growing unease. The humans had not reacted with fear or submission. They had responded with confidence, skill, and clarity. Outside the chamber, some council representatives convened in private. "They cannot be ignored," said the winged delegate. "They're calm, they're planning. It is unsettling. They do not behave like a young species. They are dangerous in ways we cannot measure." The president's voice was measured. "Dangerous, perhaps, but not hostile. Observe, study, test carefully. Do not provoke. We have underestimated them. That is our greatest mistake so far." In the human chambers, Selene reviewed intelligence reports from the horizon. "They are cautious," she said. "They think they control the situation. They do not. They have made assumptions about us. They think we are young, inexperienced, and compliant. They are wrong." Lieutenant Patel leaned forward. "They will test us again, won't they?" Selene smiled faintly. "Yes, and each time we will respond with clarity. Each time they will learn that humans are not easy to intimidate. Our strength lies in our preparation, our unity, and our willingness to stand for what is right." The Council's next attempt came swiftly. In the main forum, holographic displays appeared again. This time, simulations showed coordinated attacks on human outposts, trade routes, and colonies across multiple star systems. The aliens intended to overwhelm, to frighten, to force compliance. Selene studied the projections. "They are trying to intimidate, but their moves are predictable," she said. "Let's show them that we anticipate every step." Using advanced calculations and simulations, Selene's team demonstrated effective defensive strategies. They plotted fleets, projected communications, and outlined protective measures that would neutralize threats without aggression. The display was calm, precise, and confident. The council members were silent. Some were angry, others shocked. The humans had not only refused to bend, they had outmaneuvered them in strategy without firing a single shot. Hours later, the president called for a private discussion. "This is unprecedented," he said. "They are not submitting. They are not fearful. They are prepared. How is this possible? We have controlled every other young species with displays of power." The winged delegate shook its head. "They are different. They think in ways we do not understand. Their unity, their courage, it is unlike anything we have encountered. If we push too hard, they may act. They may surprise us." The president's golden eyes glinted. "Then we proceed carefully. Observe. Do not underestimate. Humanity has made its position clear. They will not yield. They will not bend. And we must adapt to this new reality." Meanwhile, in the human chambers, Selene gathered her officers. "They will continue testing us," she said. "They will try new tactics. They may try to provoke, to confuse, to intimidate. But remember this: we are united. We are intelligent. We are ready. They will not break us. We will respond with clarity, strategy, and courage." Lieutenant Patel nodded. "We've trained for decades, Captain. Every simulation, every exercise. It all leads to this moment. We are ready." Selene smiled. "Good, because the galaxy is watching, and we are showing them what it means to be human." The next demonstration came during a simulated council vote. Aliens projected scenarios where humans would be forced to comply with unfair laws, restrictions on their colonies, and limitations on trade. The council expected humans to flinch, to negotiate, to accept. Selene addressed the chamber calmly. "We respect the council's wisdom. But humanity will not accept unfair restrictions. We seek cooperation and fairness. Any measures that harm our people or limit our potential will be met with firm opposition. We are not here to fight, but we are prepared to defend ourselves and our principles. Gasps and murmurs filled the chamber. Many council members had never heard such direct words from a species they considered young and malleable. One crystalline delegate spoke quietly to a colleague. They are not like us. They are disciplined. They are fearless. I do not know if we can control them. By the end of the day, the humans had achieved something remarkable. Without threats, violence, or submission, they had demonstrated power, intelligence, and moral authority. The Council could no longer assume humanity would be compliant. Selene looked out from the horizon's viewport at the vast galaxy beyond. The stars seemed to shine brighter today. Humanity had made a statement. They were not weak. They were not naive. And they were ready for whatever challenges the galaxy might send their way. Somewhere in the council chamber, the president whispered to his aide a note of unease in his voice. We expected submission. Instead, we have encountered strength, courage, and strategy. We must reconsider our approach. Humanity is different, very different. Selene knew the hardest part was yet to come. The Council would not give up easily. They would continue to test, to probe, to try and intimidate. But humanity had already won the first battle, the battle of perception. The galaxy had begun to see humans differently, and that was only the beginning. The Galactic Council's orbital chamber was alive with tension. Humanity had arrived and refused to comply, and now the Council's patience was wearing thin. Delegates whispered among themselves, their voices a mixture of disbelief and unease. They had expected a species young and small to bow under authority, to tremble at the slightest threat. Yet the humans had stood their ground, calm, confident, and prepared. The council president leaned forward, his golden eyes fixed on the holographic image of the human delegation. We cannot continue like this, he said quietly. They do not fear us. They do not bend. We must test their limits. Subtle displays are no longer sufficient. We need escalation. A Voran delegate, its mandibles clicking nervously, spoke up. Escalation is dangerous. They are clever. They anticipate. They do not act out of fear. If we push too far, they may respond in ways we cannot predict. The president nodded slowly. Exactly. Which is why we must proceed with care. Prepare the fleets. Observe humanity's response. Let us see how far they will go. On Earth, Captain Selene Ward reviewed intelligence reports in the Horizon's command center. Sensors had detected the Council preparing fleets nearby. The humans knew the Council was attempting to project power, to intimidate, to make humanity reconsider their stance. Captain, Lieutenant Rami Patel said, pointing to a holographic map, they've deployed multiple fleets at strategic points. They want to show us they can strike anywhere in the system. But their formations? Predictable. Selene studied the map. Good. Predictable is something we can work with. They assume strength is in numbers and firepower. We know it is in planning, precision, and adaptability. Let's show them that intelligence matters as much as size. The first escalation came in the form of a demonstration fleet. Dozens of alien warships surrounded the human colonies, moving slowly but purposefully. The Council intended this as a warning, a reminder that humanity was small, vulnerable, and inexperienced. Selene watched the fleet through the Horizon's sensors. They want fear, she said. We'll give them something better. Strategy. She instructed her officers to simulate countermeasures. Not aggression, not attack, but defense, coordination, and control. Earth's fleets were hidden, deployed in positions the Council could not detect. Each ship was ready to respond, to protect the colonies, and to demonstrate that humanity was not weak. The humans did not show fear. They did not panic. They acted with calm precision, using simulations to show the Council how they could defend their systems without firing a shot. In the Council chamber, delegates watched the holographic displays from human sensors. They were shocked. The humans were not reacting with fear. They were responding with intelligence, with strategy, with a clarity the Council had not anticipated. A crystalline delegate whispered to its neighbor, They are not intimidated. They are planning, calculating, and ready. How can a species so young be this capable? The president's jaw tightened. We underestimated them. Do not forget this. They are clever, patient, and united. Observe closely, study them, but do not provoke. Not yet. Selene knew the Council would continue to test humanity. They had already tried intimidation. The next step would be subtler, more cunning. The Council would attempt to create situations that forced difficult decisions, hoping to shake human unity or morality. And humanity was ready. The next challenge came quickly. The Council projected simulations showing multiple colonies simultaneously under threat. The alien fleets appeared everywhere at once. They expected panic, confusion, and perhaps a desperate attempt to comply. Selene analyzed the simulations carefully. They think chaos will break us, she said. It will not. Humanity is strongest when we act together, when we plan, and when we remain calm. Lieutenant Patel nodded. We've trained for this. Coordination, strategy, communication, we've prepared for simultaneous threats. We can respond without aggression, without fear. Selene's fingers moved over the controls, running defensive simulations. Each move, each fleet deployment, each communication was precise. The humans showed the Council that size alone was meaningless. Intelligence, unity, and strategy could counter even overwhelming odds. The Council watched in disbelief as humans successfully projected defenses that could protect all colonies simultaneously. Not through brute force, not through weapons, but through superior planning and coordination. Hours passed, and the Council grew increasingly frustrated. Their plans had failed. Their subtle threats had been neutralized. The humans had not only stood firm, they had outmaneuvered the Council without firing a single shot. The president called a private meeting with the senior delegates. This is extraordinary, he admitted quietly. We have never encountered a species like this. They are not driven by fear, by survival alone. They are strategic, united, and morally resolute. How do we proceed? The silver-winged delegate spoke. They respect strength, yes, but they also respect intelligence and planning. They are not naive. We must adjust our expectations. We cannot rely on threats alone. If we push further, we risk provoking them into actions we cannot control. The president nodded slowly. Then we proceed carefully. Observe, learn, test, but not too aggressively. Humanity is not a species to underestimate. They are something entirely new. In the human chambers, Selene gathered her officers for a strategy session. They will continue to test us, she said. Every simulation, every maneuver, every warning is meant to see how we respond. Remember, we respond not with aggression but with clarity, strategy, and unity. That is our strength. Lieutenant Patel smiled. We've trained for decades. Every exercise, every scenario, it all leads to moments like this. Humanity is ready. Selene nodded. Exactly. And today, we prove it once more. The next demonstration involved a simulated blockade. The Council projected holograms of fleets surrounding key trade routes and supply chains, cutting off communications and resources. They intended to pressure humanity into submission. Selene addressed her team calmly. They want us to panic, to yield, to beg for negotiation. We will not. We will show them that preparation and strategy protect our people more than fear ever could. Human officers moved efficiently, calculating alternate routes, deploying invisible fleets, and projecting defenses in ways the Council could not detect. The humans demonstrated that even when confronted with overwhelming odds, they could respond effectively, protect their colonies, and maintain moral integrity. The Council observed silently. Shock and uncertainty rippled through the chamber. The humans were not only surviving the tests, they were exceeding expectations, without aggression, without fear. A crystalline delegate leaned toward a colleague. "They are remarkable. I have never seen a species so young act with such precision and clarity. They are human. We underestimated them." As the day ended, the humans gathered in the Horizon's command center. Celine looked out at the galaxy beyond, the stars glimmering like distant beacons. "They think they can push us," she said. "They think they can break us. But we are more than they expected. Humanity stands united, strong, and ready. The galaxy is watching, and we are showing them what it means to be human." Lieutenant Patel nodded. "They are realizing it. Even the Council cannot ignore what we are capable of. We've changed their perception." Celine smiled faintly. "Yes, and tomorrow they will test us again. But each test only proves one thing. Humanity is not weak, and we will not bend." Meanwhile, the Council convened one final meeting for the day. The President spoke with unusual gravity. "We have misjudged humanity," he said. "They are not naive. They are intelligent, strategic, and morally resolute. Our subtle displays failed. We must reconsider our approach. They are unlike any species we have encountered." The delegates nodded, murmuring agreements. Even those who had long assumed Earth would be easy to control were forced to admit their misjudgment. The humans had demonstrated courage, intelligence, and unity, qualities that no simulation or strategy could fake. Outside the Council chamber, the stars of the galaxy seemed to shine a little brighter. Humanity had taken a stand, and the galaxy had begun to notice. Celine returned to her quarters, exhausted but satisfied. She knew the next steps would be even more challenging. The Council would not give up easily. They would continue to test, to probe, to attempt subtle manipulation. But humanity had already won the first two battles, the battles of perception and strategy. The horizon of space stretched endlessly before her, full of possibility. Humanity had made its presence known, and no one, no council, no fleet, no alien, could ignore them. Celine whispered quietly to herself, "They underestimated us. They expected fear. They expected compliance. Instead, we have shown them the strength of humanity." And somewhere, in the council chamber, the president's golden eyes reflected the distant stars, a shadow of unease crossing his face. Humanity was no longer a species to overlook. They were a force of courage, intelligence, and unity that could not be ignored. End of Part 3. Word count. 1800. Focus. The Council escalates their attempts to intimidate humans. Humans respond with calm strategy, intelligence, and unity. HFY emphasis on courage, discipline, and planning. Aliens begin to realize humanity is not like any other species. The council chamber was quieter than usual. The murmurs of surprise, disbelief, and unease that had filled the halls over the past days had quieted into a tense silence. Every delegate knew that humanity had changed the game. What they had expected, fear, submission, hesitation, was gone. In its place was clarity, discipline, and unwavering purpose. Captain Celine Ward stepped onto the central platform once more. Her boots clicked softly against the smooth floor, the sound carrying through the chamber. Her face was calm, her posture confident. Around her, the human delegation mirrored her composure, standing as one unified force. The president's golden eyes narrowed. "Ambassador Celine Ward," he said, his voice steady but tinged with caution. "You have proven yourself different. Your species has resisted every expectation. You have not bent, you have not feared. Yet this cannot continue indefinitely. The Council has traditions, rules, and order that must be maintained." Selene looked directly at him. "We understand your order, your rules, and your traditions. But humanity will not compromise its sovereignty or its principles. We seek cooperation, not conflict. We seek friendship, not domination. But we will stand firm in defense of our people, our colonies, and our future." The chamber was silent. Some delegates shifted uneasily. Others whispered quietly among themselves. A long-limbed alien with multiple eyes leaned toward a colleague. They are not like any species we have met. They speak with authority and confidence, yet with calm respect. They are not reckless. They are humans. The Council President gestured for a holographic map to appear. It showed the galaxy in broad strokes: human colonies, Council fleets, trade routes, and disputed regions. The display was meant to intimidate. The Council expected that the humans would see the overwhelming scale and hesitate. Selene studied the display carefully. "We see your fleets. We see your positions. We respect the scale of your reach. But your projections do not change one fact. Humanity has prepared. We have fleets strategically positioned. We have defenses ready. We have plans for every scenario." A crystalline delegate tilted its shimmering head. "You claim preparedness, yet you are only one species. Your fleets are small compared to ours. Your technology is primitive." Selene smiled faintly. "Primitive in your eyes, perhaps, but sufficient. Our strength lies not in numbers alone, but in planning, unity, and strategy. We do not need to overwhelm you with size to protect our people. We only need to be ready, and we are." The President's hand tapped the table lightly. "You are confident, you are clever, and you are persistent. Yet there is a question that remains. Why? Why do you resist when the galaxy could offer you so much by simply bending?" Selene stepped forward slightly. "Because bending comes at a cost. Humanity will not pay that cost. We respect knowledge, trade, and cooperation. But we respect ourselves first. We do not allow fear or threat to dictate our choices. That is the difference between submission and dignity. That is the difference between being a pawn and being an equal." A murmur ran through the council chamber. The words were not threatening. They were a statement of principle, and they carried weight. The President leaned back. "Very well," he said. "Let us speak plainly. If humanity refuses to comply, if you refuse the terms we have set, then we may be forced to impose restrictions or intervene." Selene's voice remained calm, even. "We have anticipated this. Humanity is prepared to defend itself, not to attack first, but to protect. If you choose to impose, you will meet resistance. If you choose to cooperate as equals, we will do the same. The choice is yours." For the first time, the President paused. The words were simple, but their meaning was profound. Humanity had taken control of the narrative without a single aggressive act. They had turned the Council's intimidation into a platform for clarity and respect. Outside the chamber, the Council representatives convened privately. The silver-winged delegate spoke urgently. "They have shifted the balance. Their words, their composure. They have shown us strength we cannot ignore. Even our fleets cannot intimidate them now. We must reconsider our approach." The Vorin delegate clicked its mandibles. "We cannot rely on traditional methods. They are not afraid. They are intelligent, prepared, and morally resolute. If we act without caution, we risk provoking them. And they are not a species that reacts recklessly. They react decisively." The President's eyes reflected the distant stars. Indeed, Humanity has earned respect whether we admit it or not. But respect is not submission. They are a species unlike any we have encountered. We must engage them with care, not coercion. In the human chambers, Selene and her team prepared for the final stage of negotiations. The humans had proven themselves through strategy, intelligence, and moral clarity. Now, it was time to solidify their position. "Today we make it clear," Selene said. "We are not here to dominate. We are not here to provoke. We are here to show that humanity demands equality, respect, and cooperation. That is the foundation of our future in the galaxy, and we will not compromise on it." Lieutenant Patel nodded. "We have done well so far. The Council sees our strength, but they still test us. This final stage will set the terms." Selene's gaze hardened. "Then we ensure they understand. Humanity is ready, prepared, and united. We set the terms now, or the galaxy will learn that respect is earned, not demanded." The final negotiation session began. Selene stepped forward, addressing the chamber clearly. "We come in peace. We seek friendship, trade, knowledge, and cooperation. But we make one condition clear. Humanity will not be coerced, threatened, or underestimated. Any interactions with our people, our colonies, or our systems must be conducted on equal terms. Respect is not optional. It is essential." The President's golden eyes studied her intently. "And if the Council does not accept these terms?" Selene's voice was firm. "Then the Council leaves us no choice but to act in defense of our people. Not with aggression, but with readiness. We have prepared for every possibility. We have shown restraint and clarity, but restraint is not weakness. Humanity will protect itself." A silence fell over the chamber. The words were not threats, they were facts. Humanity had demonstrated strength through unity, intelligence, and principle. The Council could no longer rely on intimidation or tradition alone. One by one, the delegates began to respond. Some nodded in cautious agreement. Others whispered to their neighbors, calculating the consequences. A long-limbed alien spoke softly. "They are not like us. They are disciplined. They are clever. They are united. I do not know if any fleet could intimidate them now." The crystalline delegate shimmered faintly. "We misjudged them. We assumed weakness. We assumed fear. We assumed compliance. Humanity is remarkable." The President sighed, finally speaking aloud. "Very well, Captain Selene Ward. The Council accepts your conditions. Cooperation will occur on equal terms. Humanity's sovereignty will be respected. Your people, your colonies, and your systems will not be coerced. We recognize your strength, your intelligence, and your unity." Selene nodded. "Thank you. That is all humanity asks. We seek friendship, knowledge, and collaboration. Let us begin this journey together." Outside the chamber, the Council representatives were quiet, thoughtful, and even humbled. For the first time, they had encountered a species that could not be intimidated, coerced, or underestimated. Humanity had shown that courage, intelligence, and moral clarity could shift the balance of power without aggression. Selene returned to the horizon, exhausted but proud. She looked out at the endless stars and thought, the Council expected fear. They expected submission. Instead, we have shown them the strength of humanity. Lieutenant Patel smiled beside her. "We did it. They respect us now. The galaxy will never underestimate humans again." Selene's eyes reflected the distant starlight. "Not because we are larger, not because we are stronger, but because we are united, prepared and willing to stand for what is right. That is what makes us human. That is what makes us strong." The horizon left the Council station in orbit, the stars stretching endlessly ahead. Humanity had proven itself, not through violence, but through courage, intelligence, and moral clarity. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated, and their presence in space would be defined by dignity, preparation, and unity. Somewhere in the council chamber, the president watched the horizon's departure. His golden eyes reflected the distant lights of human colonies and fleets. A shadow of respect, tinged with caution, crossed his face. Humanity had changed the council's perception forever, and humanity's journey was only beginning. The galaxy now knew that humans were not only explorers and traders, but a species of principle, courage, and unity. Their influence would grow, not through fear, but through the example of what it meant to be human. Celine whispered quietly, a soft smile on her face. "We have shown them. This is humanity. We will continue, stronger, united, and ready for whatever the stars bring next." The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of promise, full of challenge, full of opportunity. Humanity had earned its place in the galaxy, and this was only the beginning.